You just joined us here on the show. A very good morning to you, and thanks a lot for staying with us here on the show. And I'm also very much, aware that you've enjoyed all the other segments that have come through since morning. We're starting at 6 a.m. up until now, and we're excited about it. The weekend is just around the corner. I know most of you are very, very excited about it. But, well, it's a Friday, and you know that on Fridays we've got our major conversations that comes up on entertainment. And today we're looking at a very, very disturbing situation in the space of our entertainment industry. And I'm sure most of you this week have heard about the issue of copyright. And I'm sure you've heard about the Nigerian producer who has spoken about how Ghanaian television stations are abusing her content and what she intends to do. Now, that's not the first time that we've had someone come out to complain about the way television stations are using their works without their consent. And we want to take a look at that, what it means for somebody to take somebody's intellectual property without the person's approval and use it for their own benefit. Now, you also know that as it stands right now, the Alabaster Box, a very known a cappella group, is actually suing Medikal for 15 million, and the whole issue is the fact that Medikal used a portion of their song in his song and did not acknowledge them or even seek for their consent. And Medikal and the team are yet to respond to this, but we want to take a look at that because it's been an issue that has come up at the whole of this week. And so please send us your thoughts. You can send us your opinion on WhatsApp. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can let us know what you think about copyright. Do you even understand what it means to infringe on somebody's intellectual property? You want to let us know about what you think about that here on the show. We'll be reading some of your comments, and so you can just send it to us. Let me introduce my guest in the studio, and then we'll play a video of the Nigerian actress who's complaining about the copyright issues, and then we'll take a look at the major conversation itself here on the show. But I've been joined in studio by Sarah Noko Anku. I hope I got that right. Noko Anku. She's a global managing partner for SN Anku IP firm, and she's joining us over here from legal perspective. A very good morning to you, and thanks for making time for us this morning here on the show. Great. And also in studio is my brother Edem Chotome. He's here with us as a manager of Empress Gifty, and he's also representing Large and in charge. Edem, what's up? You good? I know you've been busy. TGM is around the corner, so a lot of work.
I tell you, and I mean, it's been runs on TGM conversation, and also, I mean, executing plans, for my artists to perform. Last night, like this, I go home late because we have to look at, the sets and everything.
You guys don't rest.
We want to put in place, so it's interesting. And this morning too, Joe Metal is launching his Praise Reloaded. So like right from here straight to
that place as well.
The venue.
Do you rest at all?
Small.
Small. Anyway, we're going to be joined by Sammy Flex on Zoom. He's the artist manager for Shatawale. He's also going to be joining us on Zoom.
And now he also produces movie.
Now he's into movie productions as well.
Someone will be showing his movie.
And he'll come find the person, And so, Sammy will be joining us, and Abna Ruthie will also join us as well. And she's the second vice president for Musica. She's also going to be joining us here on the show. So, yes, we're going to begin with. But let's take a look at this video. We played it a couple of days back, but let's take a look at it again.
Hi, guys. Ben Badimoy here. First of all, I'd like to say a very big thank you for all the love and support that you have shown me in respect of the PR for Broken Hallelujah. But I wanted to let something known. It's been eating me. It's been eating deep inside of me. And I just wanted to let it know. Broken Hallelujah is coming, right? But I thought we were past the days of piracy. And this video is actually to send a sound warning. It's not a threat, but at the same time, it's a very sound warning. And I'm going to do a breakdown for you guys. This video might be long, but please listen. You know those people that take your thumbnail and your title and pretend like it's the same film for clickbait? Please, I'm begging you now. Let's all remember that we used an email address to open a YouTube channel. You can be traced, you can be tracked, you can be found. You guys, I don't have a problem. See, it's already bad enough that they're using my face for films that I'm not in. No problem. But when I call a photographer, they take pictures of me. I pay them. They send me back the pictures. I pay somebody to do a poster. They send it back to me. I go through all that process. That picture, that poster is my intellectual property. It belongs to me. I didn't give you permission to use it. My title has been copyrighted. I didn't give you permission to use it. It's a different thing if, okay, like a movie, Homecoming, and then The Homecoming. That one is fine. But when you use my actual title and my thumbnail, then we have a problem. Then you now proceed to be evil and upload my film on your channel without my consent. I spent millions of naira making this movie. You know what it means to cast top actors? They charge me and I gladly pay because they bring their A game. Then I'll now do all of that day and night. Sometimes we don't sleep. Crew members will suffer. They won't go home. We just walk around the clock. Then you will now sit down at the comfort of your home and lift my film and put on your channel. That TV station in Ghana, I'm talking to you. Don't put my movie up. I didn't give you permission to. I don't even want, before I was even like, well, at least talk to me. Let's discuss on how we can both share. But I don't want your money. Don't put my movie up. All the TV stations in Ghana that put my movie, I didn't give you permission to don't put my movie up. Ayodeji Films. You don't put my movie up, but you put my thumbnail and my title, and then you pretend like it's a part 2. I'm warning you. Actually, you're the one I'm looking for because I want to use you as an example. Ayodeji Films, I'm calling you out. And the crazy thing is, you don't even do a review. I know people that do reviews of my movie. I see them, I love them. I love you guys, I appreciate you guys. But Ayodeji, you post and you talk a lot of trash. Let me give you an example of what you do. So guys, have you seen this beautiful movie? It's a lovely movie. It's a nice movie. So the movie is nice. Tell us what you think about the movie. That's not a review. You're talking bullshit. And using our thumbnail for clickbait. Don't put up, don't use my, Ayodeji Films, don't review my movie. Don't talk about my film. Because when I take your channel down or I have you picked up and arrested, nobody should come and cry wolf and say Bimbo is actually using power to intimidate anybody. Because I'm warning you now. The TV station in Ghana, you're not untouchable. You're not unreachable. Stop uploading my movies on your channel. Those of you that use my thumbnail and my title and you use another film, I don't care if I'm in the film. Don't use my thumbnail. It's my intellectual property. It's mine. And I'm not giving you permission to use it. Please. I've had sleepless nights. My eyes are red. I haven't slept. I've been working on PR. I've been spending money. My family, my father, my nephew, my sister, nobody has slept because we're all working to make sure that this PR is like huge. Then one evil person will now wake up and decide to use my property, my intellectual property, because you want to feed. And you think that food will digest? Please, I'm warning you now. I mind my business.
All right, so that's Nigerian producer Bimbo. She's an actress as well, sending that warning over there. Now, for the purposes of this conversation, in 2004, 20th Century Fox and Marvel Enterprises, the creator of numerous popular comic book characters, were actually embroiled in a copyright infringement lawsuit over the film X-Men. The lawsuit, now the Fox actually obtained the rights to produce and distribute films based on Marvel's X-Men characters in the 1990s and had already released 2 successful movies in that franchise. Now, the dispute arose when Fox obtained that Marvel was actually interfering with its exclusive rights by collaborating with another studio, Sony Pictures, to produce a film featuring the Marvel character Spider-Man, which would actually include appearances by X-Men characters. Now, Fox argued that this would actually violate the exclusive rights to the X-Men characters and sought an injunction to prevent the release of the Spider-Man film with X-Men characters. In the end, they actually won this case. Now, if you talk about music, you want to mention the song Bloodlines. You know about that Pharrell Williams, and also the issue with that had to do with that very song, Robin Thicke's song Bloodlines. That also had a very serious copyright infringement implication, and also there was a settlement at the end of the day. And we're looking at this, and we're looking at creative people and how they've not been really been able to fight this issue of copyright infringement, as to whether even the court case between Alabaster Box and the Medikal is going to go anywhere in terms of settlement. We're yet to actually discover that. But let me start off with you, Sarah. When we mention copyright, it becomes too, heavy for people to understand. If we talk about somebody's intellectual property, it becomes too heavy. People actually think that you can just pick anybody's work, distribute it, reproduce it, do anything you want to do with it as far as the person has put it on the internet. Why?
When a person creates, the creations of that person's mind is the property of that person. And just as you have your tangible assets, your cars, your homes, your attires, your bags, that I cannot just come in and pick and use them without your permission, in that same way, you cannot take somebody's created work, especially when it is protected under copyright, and use without the person's permission. If it's for personal use, yes, there are some few exceptions to copyright. But where you tend to exploit it commercially, as she's complaining about, Bimbo complained about, then you have infringed on the person's property, intellectual property rights, the person's copyright.
Do we make it light of an issue, and it's more or less like, oh, what have you done that I feel like if I'm even reproducing it or I'm even showing it for people to see it, it's a big deal?
Yes, we do that because it is not tangible. Your intellectual property is not a tangible asset, just as your cars can. When somebody takes your car, the person deprives you of the car physically. So then you will rush to the police and get assistance.
Because we tend to place some value
because you lose it completely. But where you copy her work, Bimbo's work, she still has a work. It's not taken completely from her, but you've taken part of the value from her. She has invested in it. A whole lot has gone into it, as she explained to us. And you are benefiting without paying anything in return. So that is where the problem is. And because the matter or the subject matter is not taken completely away from the person, we tend to trivialize it. And even sometimes when these matters go to court, you see that the amount of damages that are awarded, you sometimes wonder whether we actually place enough value on our intellectual property. As again, somebody taking your land, you get a huge damages from court for, taking the land and all that. When it comes to your intellectual property, usually we tend to trivialize it a bit. That is where the challenge is.
That's where the problem even is. We'll be looking at how we can even, take a look at that. But you are an artist manager. How do you manage the issue of copyright with your artists?
Normally, when you want to use a creation, and like can I touch on the Medikal?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's one of our case studies.
It's a case of interpolation where you recreate an existing product or existing work. I mean, a derivative from what they have done. Their welcome song. So they recreate it. I mean, and if you are doing the interpolation, you can recreate the melody, recreate the lyrics, recreate certain musical, instrumental components of the song. And this is what they did. And interpolation, you need to, go and seek permission from the owner of the product or the song. And that is what they didn't do. Yesterday, we were in a studio, and at times the producers, the producers,
the sound engineers,
they can create something. The sound engineer created something. Then the artist said, "Hey, it's an interpolation."
It sounds like somebody
which has been fixed in another way. So the artist was like, "Hey, wait, this song, who does it belong to?" Then quickly, we tried. Then we guessed the owner. And said, before it is used, a permission should be sought from this owner. You know, so, I mean, some are really alert. Because at times, the producers can give you something, and if you are swayed by the
whole beat is and
enjoyment, excitement, and the beauty of the production, oh, Charlie and Phantom, then pow. Problem. So you need to go beyond that. And since you can feel, because at times people do that to pay homage, they do that to recreate memories. And I mean, since you are doing that, you should know that this belongs to somebody. And at the end of the day, when yours come out, you are going to commercialize it.
Yeah.
You understand? So you need to. I mean, and that has been the practice over the period with my artists. So we always make sure that when the production is done or somebody creates something,
you also want to
try
go beyond
find
just
out,
that.
I mean, who this piece belongs to, so that at the end of the day, we do not come out and later find ourselves wondering. So, I mean, it's really crucial because it's disrespectful that, I mean, what you've done has been taken by somebody and no recourse to you, and it feels like the person doesn't even recognize your existence. And I mean, when you say it, you get angry. I mean, so we need to respect, because if it is done to you, you'll not be happy.
You'll not be happy.
And if we are, I mean, I always say that artists should be the first people to champion this, because it means that you are setting good standards for the industry, so that tomorrow, when it's you, the person will come and seek permission and the right thing is done. So if they themselves are just poo-pooing their own creative properties, intellectual properties among other things, then it means they are pushing their own industry into, I mean, in a serious situation.
Okay, let me go on Zoom and see if I can speak to Sammy Flex over there. Sammy, if you can hear me, good morning, and thanks for joining us this morning. Yeah,
good morning, PMJ. Hope you are good.
Great. I'm good. I'm grateful for your time. I'm grateful for your time. Now, you manage one of the biggest artists in this country. I don't know how many times you guys would have to deal with issues of copyright. But before Shatta Wale records any song and you guys want to commercialize it, do you try to find out if there are melodies or there are lyrics that would probably sound like somebody's work that is a bit reproduced?
Well, in our case, Shatta Wale is that guy who produces everything from scratch. So it is not something we do. Rather, what we will do is to find out if someone would come for our work. And at the moment, because we are more relying on the systems, I'm talking about the DSPs, we really don't do much, because as it stands now, like the lady in the studio said, if you want to go the legal way in Ghana, you might not have the time. If you're an active musician in Ghana and you want to go the legal way with someone when it comes to copyright, the number of years that it takes for you to go through the long haul, you can't do it. In Ghana, I think the few successful cases of copyright that we've recorded will be Rex Oman, I think, Despite Media, and again, McDarlington with Fan Yogo or Fan Milk some years ago. Even that one, the number of years that it took for them to even go to the end of the case. An active musician like Shatta Wale, does he have the time? And even if he has the time, is he ready to put in that much when it comes to the legal cost and everything that is in line with it? And again, even today, KMG, let someone infringe on our rights right now. Let's set the person a rate. The person's father will call, mother will call. They will go and wake up our dead mother to come and beg us. You will not even be able to sleep.
Pursue it.
Start going through that. So at the moment, our best resort has been relying on the IPs when it comes to the DSPs. With that one, at least you are sure that anytime it comes up, they will give the person the notices. Even if they has to get us the earnings, they will get the earnings to our account, and that is what we have been relying on. But for Shatta to look around if he's taking someone's job there, I'm not sure it is something that I've been thinking about, because I know who Shatta is. He is a creative person from the beginning of his work till the end of it. So he is sure that this is mine.
Yeah, so I mentioned that, Sammy, I mentioned that in the case of, Shatta is, every creative person, let me put it in that way, would want to get inspiration from something. Shatta has godfathers who are internationally very renowned, musicians that they have done great works that you probably would say, oh, I think I like this melody from this man or that man, so I want to put a bit of it in my song. In that case, if it's inspired by that, as a manager, what do you do about it?
Well, like I'm saying, hardly does he do that, as a matter of fact. Shatta himself has a signature thing that he's been doing, what he calls his Shatta music. At every point, he has his own kind of creation, comes in with his own energy, his own style, attitude, and all. So hardly would he say, I have been inspired by someone's melodies and I want to go by it. I'm sure the records are there for many people to see. If you go out there, you listen to many of Shatta Wale's songs, you would hardly feel, oh, this is like that, this is like that. He has been his own creator, starting from beginning to the end. So we have less of that problem, especially if it is particular about Shatta, then I can tell you we have less of such issues.
I don't even think that you have any of that issues at all. I am asking in case he has an inspiration like that and he wants to do it just for the fact that he feels that person has done something great. That's what I'm asking.
Well, then obviously we would have to go through the process. Anytime such a thing comes up, then obviously we would have to go through the process, seeking permission, getting the right authorization from the right owner before you can take it up. Because we understand sometimes when people are even looking forward to take you on legally, they look at who you are.
Yeah.
There are some people in Ghana, when they even pick up your copyright thing and you want to sue them, it will be a fruitless search, because at the end of the day, when you are done with them and you put whatever damages on them, can they even pay? Many of them will not be able to pay. But someone like Shatta Wale, knowing who he has been over the years, if we play that loose and someone starts chasing us with any legal thing, definitely we're going to suffer it. So should it happen, trust me, we will go through the necessary processes. We will make sure every authorization is gotten right before we put any work like that out.
Okay, let me speak to Abna Ruthie quickly, and I'll come to Sarah in the studio for us to get into the legal battles that comes with this. But Abna, if you can hear me, thanks for the time. I'm grateful.
Thank you too. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Let's talk about music and the effort you've put in place to ensure some of these things are settled amicably, or you are able to let Ghanaian musicians understand that picking somebody's work from even Ghana here or outside Ghana can be a problem for you if you don't go through the necessary process.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And hi to Sammy. Sammy's been a while. We need to catch up. And Adam, right. So at Musica, what we are looking at is making sure we let the education go down well with our members. If we are able to drum it down that, hey, copyright is not something you should joke with, because there are a whole bunch of people, they even create their product and they don't copyright it. What they'll be thinking of is recording, distributing, and then registering with Gumroad. But copyright is what your very own work, such that if anybody infringes on it, you will have the right to say something. So we are hammering on the education, and as a benefit at Musica, we have our lawyers to always, come in and help the people if you encounter such a case. We are training them on how to, even look at your contract and all that. So there's a lot we are pushing down the throat of our members, and we hope they're able to swallow. And we are also throwing it out there that there is the need for us to value unionization. If we do that, we will have, that great force to be able to fight some of these things, because you can't do it alone. You will be tired. At a point in time, you feel like, what am I even getting from this thing? But if we are able to, as a collective, fight some of these things, it will minimize. People, or let me say Africans or Ghanaians, we are mostly like, this is my brother, this is my sister. If she's done this, yenka wufie, let's do the ADR method and all those things. It goes a long way to hurt us. And so from our point of view, we want our members to be empowered with the knowledge of copyright, with the knowledge of IP law, so that you know that if I do, and I have recorded it and registered it, copyrighted it, it is mine. If I'm hearing it in another work, I have the right to go and confront, the person to get the right things being done. We like sweeping things under the carpet, And my brother Sammy was saying it. It's also because sometimes the legal system takes too long. And here I would like to appeal, and I know my predecessors have been saying this all the time, we need special courts to look at this for us. If it goes to the general place, looking at, they have so many things they are looking at. When will they get to your case? How well will they get into your issue? There are so many cases, but if there are specialized courts for this, I bet you, before somebody takes something, the person will look at it. And I like what Adam said about his artiste. That is what we want to see happening. That the artiste is so much educated that anything she is creating, she would want to make sure it's an original thing. Otherwise, if you want to, add on to what somebody else has done, you would definitely have to contact that person and get the right things done first. So we are pushing down the education, and I'm glad that you're doing this morning. It is important we let the people know. We are mostly bundled as people who, excuse me to say, we don't like book too much, and so we like concert, and so any and everything is thrown at us. But no, it's no longer so. It is no longer so.
Okay.
Even those who do traditional, are being educated to know that if it is yours, and own it, guard it. Because until you have passed and 70 years has passed after you have passed, the thing is yours. Your children will benefit from it, so you have to own it. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
We are pushing down the education.
All right, I'll come back to you again, but let me speak to Sarah about this. Now, we understand that it's a bit problematic if you want to go into the legal aspect of it. Are there other ways we can look at it so that we don't have to go 10 years, 6 years battling this in court?
Let me address that. So we have specialized courts.
Okay.
The commercial court is responsible for, the commercial division of the High Court has original jurisdiction in IP matters. And the commercial courts work faster. I handled the Spiky case.
Oh, is it?
And it took us about 2.5 years. It didn't take 6 years. And at the end of the day, we got $250,000 USD. So it's not as bad as it looks. We have a few challenges here and there at the courts, but the courts work. We need to trust the legal system in Ghana. It may be a bit slower. It may be slower than other jurisdictions, but I think we are doing quite well. Not too good, but we are okay.
But these are serious matters.
Yes, these serious matters.
Can we look at moving forward, how we can attach that seriousness to it, or how the courts can also look at it?
I think we do attach some level of seriousness to it from the legal perspective. You mentioned respect and all that. That's morality.
Yeah.
The law says that it is an offense to infringe on people's rights, copyright. So you can even use the police through the economic unit of the police CID, and they'll investigate and prosecute the person for infringing on your copyright. And then you can use the civil routes where you can have your damages, injunctions, special damages, even account for profits and all that. We have all that available to us. We are not really utilizing it as best as we can. If you say that you use the DSPs, like Sammy said, if you use the DSPs, yes, they'll take down infringing materials. But when somebody infringes your work, it is an offense and also a civil matter. So you can still opt to take the person on without necessarily saying that, oh, they've taken it down, so that's it, that ends it. And as I said, the legal system is not that bad. They may want to explore this legal system, and that could be helpful. And then also, Lee mentioned using ADR or let's leave it. ADR is also a means of enforcing your copyright. Because if you use mediation, maybe at the end of the day you agree, you negotiate, you use mediation, you can even go on arbitration for this. The copyright administrator has those powers to be a mediator in matters like that. And at the end of the day, both parties will have a win-win situation where you decide probably you can license to the other party who is infringing, or the person can decide to give you some level of some compensation for what is being, for the wrong the person has done. So it is not all bleak as it looks. It's just that we are not taking advantage of the system available to us. And I noticed that the lead Ruthie also mentioned that when you have your work done and you don't copyright it, you have to know that copyright is automatic right. So the moment you get it fixed, your idea is fixed in a medium of expression. That's it. You have a copyright for it. Except that when you move to the copyright office and have it registered, then you have a certificate that you can always show as prima facie evidence of ownership. So when you go to court, you don't now have to go and prove to the court that, yes, indeed, I own this, I was first to publish it, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, you now have to go back, use your technology to trace when you first published it. So it's not all that bleak. We must learn how to use the legal system to address these infringements and issues that arise.
Adam, so moving forward, if you decide that, okay, I'm using somebody's song, I've sought for permission, and the person says, now you can't use it. In your case, how do you go about it?
I mean, if the person says you can't use it, it will be based on certain reasons. Maybe the person thinks that he doesn't want the recreation of that song.
But you desperately want to also
the person feels
do it.
To affect, I mean, the potential of that song. I mean, for future usages, the person may. So you just need, or the person doesn't like the negotiation.
Okay.
So you just need to find out what it is that the person doesn't like. But if you still feel like it's not happening, then in order not to be in some tight corner, you just have to move on and repackage your whole thing so that you do not have to end up getting into such situations. Because, I mean, when it comes to creativity, there are so many ways out. It's not cast in stone. So you just have to look at the next alternative so that at the end of the day, you are able to come out with your project and not fall into any legal battle with anyone.
Okay. Sammy. Hello, Sammy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. We have a clear case of Brandy and Burna Boy. Now, Burna Boy used some part of the Brandy song and owed some of the royalties to her. In fact, she was even earning more than Burna Boy was earning, actually. And any time that song is played, Burna Boy earns less than what Brandy actually had. But he never cared about it. Is it that most of the artists out there are scared they'll be losing royalties that much to other people that they have, they pick their works? And that's the reason why it's difficult for them to say, I want to approach the person, but I'd rather want to go ahead and just do it.
Yes, I know this can also be one of the reasons. The fact that the person feels that, Charlie, I'm going to think through, create something, and because another person has something similar to it, he's going to enjoy more of the benefits out of it. I know that is there. But KMJ, I can also tell you that oftentimes, most of these artists are ignorant of what they are doing. Oftentimes. Most of these artists, they don't even know that, Charlie, what I'm doing is infringing on someone's right. And I know one of the cases in question is the Medikal.
The Medikal, alabaster box issue.
Alabaster box, which is in recent times happening. I can tell you, the team of Medikal or Team Medikal, I can tell you, they had no idea what was going to happen. Wow. Because that was so clear. That was so vivid. You couldn't skip it. So if they knew, including even the producer who worked on the song, if they knew...
You think the producer should have known better?
Of course. I'm sure to them, they thought that, we are not taking the original song of Alabaster Boss. We are creating our own thing. So that is not it. So I'm so sure that they were not aware of the implications. reason they have fallen into that trap at the moment. So yes, the question of Burna Boy and Brandy, it could be that, yes, he is aware. I'm not creating. I've been inspired by someone's work. And because
I don't care how much the person makes more than I do.
No, the people who are handling Burna Boy, the global giants in this space, they understand it. They know the little mistake you make, you are going to pay for your entire life. So there is no way they are going to fall for that trap. They will surely do what is necessary, no matter what you are earning. At the end of the day, if they give you the copyright thing and you are enjoying it, they will also be performing. They'll be making huge money from performance. Look at the number of venues Burna Boy is filling.
He's met Brandy and all that.
Exactly. That money they will pay to you for copyright will not affect them in any way. And they understand it. In many cases, our people don't even know. That is why, even if you follow the medical case really closely, you'll realize that when the guy started complaining, they went on to YouTube and cut off the portion of Alabaster Box Welcome, leaving the other DSPs on. And you ask yourself, so what are you doing? So do you think you've taken it from YouTube and that you are free from guilt? No, you are not. So yes, I understand that sometimes greed can also play a part, but many times ignorance is the problem.
Okay, let me move to Abna Ruthie. Abna, you mentioned that Musica is doing their best to ensure they mediate some of these issues. Now, Alabaster Box and Medikal, I don't know their stance when it comes to their involvement with Musica, but in this case, are we able to step in and say, yes, we'll go to court, all right, though, but we will mediate it in a way that the damages do not really go above what, we probably think that it should be paid to Alabaster Box?
I mean, definitely behind the scenes, a lot will happen. Behind the scenes, a lot will happen. That's how I'll put it. I don't want you to push me to the wall. Behind the scenes, a lot will happen. But please, quickly, let me just say something. And I want to thank Sarah for the education on the specialized court, because that's been the notion, So maybe we need to be exploring the law more. And then what we have noticed over the years is that most of our ideas will end in, Jaimenka, especially with the gospel people. Unia, it's your brother, it's your sister, so let it be. So we really need to, let the people know that these things are, again, before I say that, I am so grateful that she mentioned the respect Adam used. And I was, serious sitting here when he said respect, because it is a crime. If you go on those moral grounds, then you will be, getting into those waters of, my brother, my sister, and all that. But no, we have to let them know that it is a crime. So you don't have to do it. You just need to know the right thing to do. Coming back to the issue at hand, in fact, let me cite another example. I am trying hard not to talk about their status, because we all know many of our musicians register with Musica, and then that's it. Once renewals, you won't see them in there. And so you can't even say that, this is not a member, because at a point in time, the person had registered. So definitely the person is traced to you. And again, in Ghana, mostly everybody thinks that once you are singing, you belong to Musica. It's not so. I have said it time and again. It is registered members who, in good standing, who can be said that they belong to Musica. However, we are a body that embraces every musician, and so we encourage that every musician should register with Musica and be in good standing, so that at all times, if these things happen, we can jump to your aid. That said, we even rise to the aid of people who are not members, and so, like I said, behind the scenes talks will be happening. I have a typical example. Just this very week, there's a lady outside whose song has been picked by a group of people, and they are making it in Ghana, getting all the gigs, chopping all the monies they can get out of the song. So I spoke to her. In fact, she called. We're discussing other things, and then because some people had confronted me about that, I asked her, have they agreed with you on anything regarding the use of your song? She was like, oh, no, I don't even know them. My husband is in town, so maybe he will know. I'll ask him and see. I was like, this is it. I mean, that is how we have behaved. And that is why we need to get the likes of Auntie Sarah to be helping us with these kind of education, because it is yours. And so you have to own it and then make sure that whatever is due you, you get it.
Okay. All right. Very well. Let's look at, because of our time, I'll come back to you.
The respect,
okay.
The respect is that, I mean, in the context I use the respect is that you need to have respect for the works of people.
Absolutely.
Because if you've done something and I have respect for what you've done.
That's when I'll come to you and say, I want to have a conversation with
anyway.
you.
So that was the context I use the respect.
Okay, all right, very well. Now, because of our time, I want us to see how we can work around this. The medical issue. In your honest opinion, how would you advise Medikal if he's serving the team are watching now?
I wouldn't want to touch on that matter because it is before the court. I understand a writ has been filed. But let me use an example. So if somebody takes somebody's work and you know you have done that, it's best to try to settle with the other party. I have a client who was threatened by routers for using an image, a picture of someone carrying shea butter. I mean, a Ghana image, Ghana.
He felt that it's ours, it's mine, I just use it.
And my client, a Ghanaian, used it, and routers came after him. So we settled. At the end of the day, we are paying routers for that, using that image. So when that happens, and you know you have done wrong, it is best for you to settle, unless you know you use that work within the exceptions of the copyright law, fair use, personal use, and all that. Then you may want to challenge it. But if you know you are very wrong, then it is in your interest to attempt settlement.
I'm thinking about how do we even distinguish between fair use and other use that would probably put us in trouble. So if I pick an image like this and I put it on social media and I just write a certain tag or a certain caption, it's fair use.
Is that for your personal use?
Yes.
No, it's not. The moment you put it on social media, you are trying to promote yourself. It can't be termed as personal use. If I have the image in my room, I look at it and admire it every day. I put it in even my office, maybe commercial. So it's personal. So long as it remains personal use, you are safe. But when you cross the line of personal use, then we're looking at the fair use of it. To what extent have you used the material? What percentage have you used? For what? So yes, so you need to look at, it's a tricky one. It's not too straightforward. It's usually determined on a case-by-case basis, but you ask yourself, what will a reasonable man say about that particular use? Will it be fair to the reasonable man? Then if you think it is fair, then but you have to look at the laws, and we have all that decided cases, and then also the law itself. So
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have too much time. I was hoping that Sammy would be on. We've seen Shatawale in military dress and all of that. I wanted to find out if they are going to. Sammy is now one of the army officers, in the Ghana Armed Forces. But
NSS is starting. The military training.
Oh, okay. So he's
one of the instructors.
Anyway, let me say a big thank you to you for joining us this morning. I think that my time is up, but if you can hear me, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the time this morning. I understand that Sammy is also not on because of one or two reasons. But Adam, your last words before we go, Empress.
I think the last words are that Ghanaians should vote for Empress Gifty. Watch Me as a traditional gospel song of the year at the TGMA and Artist of the Year, Gospel Artist of the Year. If you look at the streams and the virality of Watch Me, how it's entering the churches, homes and schools. And if you look at the programs, the work sheets, the performance sheets of Empress, the programs she played, the All-African Games, the finals between Ghana and Nigeria in Cape Coast, the Ochehene anniversary, the Otumfo's anniversary, the Women in Worship, and all the big events, she performed on last year. She deserves to be crowned. So just, go to the TGMA website or your telecell and vote for Empress Gifty as the gospel song and gospel artist of the year. And also,
Great.
big up to DJ Abebe. He's watching us. So Abebe of Qatar Airways, big up to you watching us live.
All right, sure. Tomorrow in Tema, we're going to be having the 1 week observation of our dear brother, DJ Awana. We lost him a couple of weeks ago. The 1 week observation will be tomorrow in Tema, please. Make sure we're doing it at the old Adum FM, building. So if you know that place, I mean, it's a very popular place. Make sure that you come through and let's all together, do this with the family of our brother, DJ
a lot of
Awana.
That's
a lot
where
of
it
them.
started
A lot of them. Only you, Awana, and you say you want. It's sad. Thank you so much for coming through this morning. Sarah Noko Anku is a global managing partner at an Anku IP firm. She joined us this morning here on the show. Abna Ruthie is the second vice president of music. Adam Chochome is here, manager of Empress Gifty, also joining us this morning as well. Sammy Flex is the manager of Shatawale, and he's also joining us this morning here on the show. Many thanks to all of them for making time for us, and thanks to you for watching and being a part of the show throughout the week and wrapping up nicely with us here on a Friday morning.